A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to 2A News Now, and I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. This next story shows you how some Democrats are completely infected with the liberal pathogen, which leads to insanity. A New York bill would require a background check to purchase a 3D printer? New York residents looking to buy a new 3D printer may soon have to submit to a criminal background check if a newly proposed bill becomes law. The recently introduced legislation, authored by State Senator Jenifer Rajkumar, who is a very pretty woman, and from my research a well-educated woman, evidently has no common sense whatsoever, aims to snub out increasingly popular loophole where convicted felons who would otherwise be prohibited from legally buying a firearm instead 3D print individual components to create an untraceable ghost gun. If passed, New York would join a growing body of states placing restrictions on 3D printers in the name of public safety. The New York bill, called AB A8132, would require a criminal history background check for anyone attempting to purchase a 3D printer capable of fabricating a firearm. It would similarly prohibit the sale of those printers to anyone with a criminal history that disqualifies them from owning a firearm. As it's currently written, the bill doesn't clarify what models or makes of printers would potentially fall under this broad category. The bill defines a three-dimensional printer as a device capable of producing a three-dimensional object from a digital model. Three-dimensionally printed firearms, a type of untraceable ghost gun, can be built by anyone using a $150 three-dimensional printer. The state senator wrote in a memorandum explaining her bill. The bill would require a background check so that three-dimensional printed firearms do not get into the wrong hands. Second Amendment supporters aren't the only ones objecting to this regulation targeting 3D printers. Free speech experts and some civil libertarians have argued banning 3D printed firearms, or at least the designs to create them, could run afoul of the First Amendment, since the instructions are simply lines of text and code. Let's take a look at this ridiculous law. Does the state senator really think that there's a lot of criminals in her state that are going out and purchasing 3D printers to print parts to make a gun? But what they don't mention is you can't print all the parts of the gun. You would have to purchase the barrel and the parts kits to put it all together. And people that don't know anything about 3D printers think that somebody can just whip up a firearm that's operational and use it right away. And that's not true. So does the state senator think it's easier for a criminal to purchase a 3D printer? Wouldn't it be easier, instead of a criminal printing out a 3D firearm, just get it off the streets, steal it from somebody's car or out of their home? Wouldn't it be easier for somebody to do a straw purchase? Someone that doesn't have a criminal record, purchase the firearm and then give it to the criminal? Of course those things are much easier than trying to print a firearm on a 3D printer and then having to actually put it together. And I don't have any experience with using 3D printers, but I've watched quite a few videos. People 3D printing firearms, and some doing it for the first time or even the second or third time, and then making numerous mistakes and having to start over and over again. These people that are infected with the liberal pathogen try to get their constituents to believe that you just miraculously push a button and a fully operational firearm automatically appears in this machine. And that's far from the truth. I would venture to guess 90 to 95% of the people, or even more, that purchase a 3D printer have no thoughts or inclination of even printing out a firearm. That shows you how ridiculous this law is if it's passed. I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comments section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, or if you just want to help the channel out and help it grow, and get us over the 60,000 subscriber mark, please take a little bit of your time and like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. And I invite you to come back to see my next video.